If you've been here long enough, by now you should understand why Morpheus is not a heroic leader who fights for the welfare of humanity. Rather, he is a tool used by the Oracle. But even though Morpheus is a tool, is he a good person? What if I told you that the semi-religious beliefs of the Oracle were what kept Morpheus from doing something crazy? Today we're going to take a look at why Morpheus was not good for humanity. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
We must first establish Morpheus's moral compass. Morpheus was an evangelist for the Oracle. He followed her guidance and orders. He even trusted the fortune teller more than any human or Zion leader, easily willing to disobey direct orders.
I am asking that one ship remain here in our place just in case the Oracle should attempt to contact us.
Bullshit. You're asking for one of us to disobey a direct order.
That's right, I am.
Morpheus was molded by the Oracle to follow her plan, but he eventually deviates from the plan. The Oracle wanted him to find the one, and Morpheus wasted no time in finding him. According to alternate scenes from the movie, Morpheus was wrong 5 times before finding Neo. He forced other people into believing that they were the one, and they all died because of Morpheus's mistakes. The first issue with Morpheus is that he used deception to convince innocent people into taking the red pill. This is one of the reasons why Cypher hated Morpheus.
He lied to us, Trinity. He tricked us. If you would have told us the truth, we would have told you to shove that red pill right up your ass.
We thought that Morpheus was doing the right thing by not telling them what the Matrix was beforehand. But let's stop for a moment and look at Cypher's situation. Not much is known about his life before he woke up. Cypher was possibly a computer geek looking for information on the Matrix. Cypher, like Trinity and Neo, were people who lived on the internet looking for an answer to the conspiracy called the Matrix. This conspiracy led them to Morpheus, who then made them choose to take a red or blue pill. Morpheus doesn't explain what is going to happen by taking the red pill. He did not tell them that they were about to abandon their families, friends, their lives, and even their world to go live in a nightmare and impending death. Morpheus tells them that they will find the answers to what the Matrix is after taking the red pill, but he will not tell them beforehand so to not scare the people into not taking the red pill. Neo asked Morpheus if he could go back after he understood what the Matrix is.
I can't go back, can I?
No.
Neo now knows the truth, and he needed to know if there was a possibility of returning to his past life. Morpheus says no. That is, Morpheus took Neo's life from him, even if it was a facade, to turn him into a soldier. Morpheus justified his actions with the war against the machines. After all, the Resistance goal is to save humanity from the simulation they were trapped in, right? Here's the second and biggest issue. Morpheus's goal is not to save humanity. It's quite the opposite. To understand this, we must know what happens when a person awakens from the Matrix. A child would have little trouble adjusting to the real world. However, for an adult, there is a high chance that they will die of shock after knowing and seeing the truth. When an adult wakes up in the real world, they can die of a heart attack just by seeing the real world. This was shown in the Matrix comic, Saviors. A red pill woke his parents out of the Matrix, and they both died upon awakening. So if the Matrix is destroyed, the vast majority of the humans in the simulation will die.
We have a rule. We never free a mind once it's reached a certain age. It's dangerous. The mind has trouble letting go. I've seen it before and I'm sorry.
There is also not enough room for millions of people to live in Zion. Morpheus was fighting and willing to sacrifice himself and anyone to destroy the Matrix. But why the blind obsession? You might be thinking that maybe Morpheus did not think about the implications of destroying the simulation. Perhaps there was a plan B to prevent millions of people from dying. After all, Morpheus was following the Oracle's instructions, wasn't he? Well, when Neo revealed to Morpheus that the prophecies were a lie, Morpheus radicalized even further. The repercussions were revealed in Matrix Online. In this video game that continues the story after the events of Matrix Revolutions, there is a scene that remains canon, an interaction between Morpheus and the Oracle, whose original film cast reprised their roles for the voiceover of this video game. Although the servers for this online game were closed years ago, there is still a strong community of fans dedicated to archiving its story, which is a fundamental piece of the Matrix lore. Morpheus explains what his plans were in the scene from the video game.
Morpheus, please sit.
Is this where he did it?
You might say where I did it. You are what you eat, they say.
I suppose this is where you offer me a cookie.
I'll make the predictions around here. But I don't need second sight to know why you're here. What comes now? You've worked all your life for this. You found a savior, trained him, guided him, and he did the impossible. The thing you dared dream of when so many would not, could not.
I thought we could win this war, or lose it. If we won, yes, millions would die in their pods. But our days and years would be spent saving those we could and reclaiming the surface. Instead, we have peace. Neo found a way to save them all. Why won't they give up his remains? They say they haven't recycled them. They belong in Zion, in a holy place. He saved us. He saved them. He saved the Matrix.
Sounds like you found your purpose.
But is it right? Will I be successful?
One doesn't necessarily go with the other, does it?
There are many interesting things in this scene. References to the cookies, implying that we are what we eat. The Oracle's insinuation that she intentionally manipulated Neo with her cookies. But the most important thing of this scene is the revelation that Morpheus knew that millions of people would die if they won the war, and Morpheus was not satisfied with the truce. He demanded Neo's body to be given to the Red Pills to revere the remains of their savior. Morpheus's true nature is put on display. He is an extremist who was willing to sacrifice millions of humans to win. He was selfishly ready to break the truce with the machines just to claim the body of the one who made the truce a reality. Morpheus again came into conflict with the machines and began using bombs to destabilize the simulation, which would force people to wake up and die. The Matrix Online story might end up being erased with the arrival of Matrix 4, and Morpheus could be rewritten so that he was more moderate in his actions. But as of right now, we cannot define Morpheus as a good person. He was selfish. He imposed his doctrines on other Red Pills, disobeyed orders from his leaders because he wished to accomplish his goals, and was willing to sacrifice anything to win, including peace, solely for Neo's dead body. Morpheus was lost in his ideology, one that was directed in a way by the Oracle. He deviated from his original purpose and goal. The Oracle wanted peace, and Morpheus was not satisfied. Perhaps this is why Morpheus had to die, because no one could control him. But do you agree? Is Morpheus really a bad guy? How would you react if someone offered you the truth, and that truth is a dystopian world like the one Morpheus reveals to the Red Pills? For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe, and thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.